Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we brew up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town
to feel-good stories and messages of hope.
A few jokes and live calling.
Highlighting local businesses.
Discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Here is a follow. Comment live or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Dawn, where's the snooze button?
Ready, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. Pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
Welcome to the morning show, and to all our friends out there that watch the morning show.
Happy Halloween, everyone. It's October.
My favorite time of the year.
But then you can't see my hat. No, I'm only kidding.
I love your hat.
Welcome. I'm dressed up this way because today is Throw Go. At
Throw
the
social?
Throw Social at the, but it's called Throw Go, no? Gold.
Throw for gold.
Throw for Gold. At Throw
Gold.
Social.
Gold. Not go.
Throw for Gold.
Gold. There you go.
Throw for Gold.
Gold.
Give me a break. It is what it is. So there it is. Throw for Gold.
Throw for gold. We're going to be there 5 to 8 tonight. Throw Social, Delray Beach. I've never been there.
I haven't either, but I'm looking forward to meeting some friends older than you, and we're hoping that you come out and join us there as well, because it's a great cause, and we've benefited. We're fortunate to meet these people benefiting.
Julia Starr, Childhood Cancer Awareness.
And we were picked to represent and to film. So we're going to try to film some content, put it on the air for the other 29 events that they have planned.
You know, it's exciting. Well, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month ended in September. I sound like Michael. Like, here's a fun fact. I know today's October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but we're still supporting childhood cancer awareness today. And it is for Julia Starr Foundation. So you can go to Eventbrite, you can check it out. I think you put the link on our site.
Yes.
Check it out. Tickets are only $45. It includes 2 drinks, light bites, raffles, and all night of gaming that you want is all included at Throw Social. So there's darts, there's games.
There's
I don't know
everything.
what else there is, but we're going to find out.
You know what the most important thing is?
What?
They get to meet us.
Apparently we're ready for Halloween.
Michael, why are you laughing?
I'm just in a good mood today.
Keep your mic
You're
up.
always in a good mood.
I am. I'm in a good mood today.
Why?
So hence all of our gold clothes of the day is what we're doing.
We're all golden out. I'm going to get me a rack of teeth. I'm going to get me a grill. A rack of teeth. A grill.
I bet Michael has a fun fact that back in the day when the pirates had gold teeth, they would sell it for...
Well, actually, that's why they wore the earrings.
Why?
So they can
Because
sell
they
it.
paid for their funeral.
Wow. So they just walked
Because
around with all their
they
jewels.
got shot all over the place.
Oh my gosh, I feel like what a Nightmare on Elm Street is what I think we're doing today.
So I forgot.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Or that one.
So I
Nightmare Before
forgot to
Christmas.
tell you guys yesterday on the morning show that I went to see Beetlejuice.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
That's only Beetlejuice. It's only
You
2
said it 3
Beetlejuice.
times, Freddie's going to come through the door right now.
We should get Nate to dress up as him.
Now I gotta ask for you people that know movies, the father that died in the movie, he's
Yeah.
dead. He got eaten by a shark or something. Did he die in real life?
No, but he's in hot water legally.
Is that what it is? Because they didn't even show him. They made a cartoon character
Stop motion,
of him
yeah.
on the plane that allegedly went down, and he was alive. He survived the crash, and then a shark ate him. But I don't understand is why wasn't he in the movie?
Let's just say he did something that was not appropriate.
Was he with a P. Diddy allegedly situation?
Something like that, yeah.
He was trading women?
Not exactly. Something a little worse that I can't say on the air.
Oh my God! Really? Oh, you got to fill
Must
me
be something
in.
with kids.
Really, kids?
I'm assuming the only
Ah,
thing worse than doing that to women is doing it to children.
Moving
so.
on. That guy was a maniac. But the
It's amazing
movies
how many actors and how many people
are
in Hollywood are
involved.
just.
Can you even imagine doing
Pests.
something so horrific like that and thinking that it's okay to do?
No, you know how long these guys got away with it? And do you know how many actors tried to squeal him out and their careers were threatened, so they had to stay quiet? All of a sudden, everybody's coming out. That's Michael Keaton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little old to
I
be
gotta tell
playing
you,
this.
what amuses our crew is always so humorous. Is all I can tell you.
But
There's an 8 in there.
he's a little old to be playing this movie, and she's a little older to be playing this role as well.
The daughter?
Yeah. The one that he goes out, he still wants to marry that girl and the whole 9 yards. And she's divorced because her husband died. And he's full of like piranhas.
Well, how'd you like
and
the
stuff.
movie?
I gave it a 1.5,
Out of?
4.
Ooh.
Who has a rating of 1 to 4?
I do.
4 stars? At least it should be 5 stars.
No.
Bad.
Okay, 5 stars, I give it a 2.
One
then.
star.
Who has a rating system of 1 to 4?
I mean, 1 out of 5 is still really bad.
Well, it's-
1
I
out
give
of
it, I
five's
give
pretty
it
bad.
a 2 out of 5.
What'd you guys, did anyone else see it?
Not
I
yet.
haven't had a chance to watch it.
I fell asleep, man.
That's a bad
If
sign.
you fell
That's a
asleep, it
bad
must have been
My
really
dad
bad.
fell
Me,
asleep watching the second half of Transformers.
I fell asleep during
asleep-
everything. If you
I fell asleep at
it
the
was
beginning of
bad.
that.
You never fall asleep.
It was not good.
Anyone else see it?
I haven't seen it.
Go see it and tell me what you think. First of all, never try to do a part 2 on a movie that was successful. It just doesn't work. Even though this thing is blowing it up at the box office. Because what it is they're living on what I call the LeBron James, Michael Jordan theory. You know, these guys play way past their prime because they were great back in the day. So they just show up and they still think they're, everybody says that they're great, but they're living ghost legends. And that movie is a ghost.
All right, so here's the question. When do you know when to stop? Whether it's as an actor,
Movies?
a sports hero. When
Sports
do you
is-
know? Do you go out on top? Or do you wait because you don't know that you're at the top?
Well-
and then you start to decline. But then you're like, well, maybe I'll come back up. So when is the right time to go
Well, you
out?
can still perform. Aaron Rodgers can perform, but he has limitations as well. At 40 years of age, if you touch him, he's like brittle. He's going to get hurt. So as you saw Sunday, they lost to an inferior team because he could not motivate that team to go.
So you think he should go out?
I think he should have gone out. I don't think the Jets should have ever gone down this path. There's so many good quarterbacks out there that could have been had. If you saw the Lions game yesterday, the 2 quarterbacks, one of them is an ex-Jet for the Seattle Seahawks. Goodness gracious, those kids are good. They can fling a ball, they have command, and they can run. And in today's game, you got to be able to run. So I think Aaron should have hung it up 2
What do you
years
think
ago.
about actors? When do you think? Go out on the top?
Uh,
But when do you know you're actually at the top? is
I
the
mean,
question.
I'd
When
say.
you win Best Actor.
Well, that's completely subjective,
Yeah,
Mike.
but you can
that's
win.
not even a
You
possible
can win that on
question.
the first time up. What, are you going
Like-
to quit?
Like, but no, when it comes to movies, it's more like when a franchise is just overdone. I feel like example, like Harrison Ford with the 5th Indiana Jones movie.
Jones.
He
He's
should
like
have
he's
stopped.
too old to be Indiana Jones at this
They
point.
put him in a wheelchair.
They should have stopped it before the 4th one. Like,
Well, they
the
have it
third-
in
this
green
should have just been the
screen.
trilogy.
in
Well, right,
fifth.
at least James Bond, they keep replacing the Bond.
That's why they
Yeah.
did it, including
Exactly.
I think they're gonna have a woman.
Yeah, I think so. 007.
That's
has
what
a
they
woman.
said.
Because I think Indiana Jones as a character, I think that is a character you can recast because it's not about the character; it's just the idea of being Indiana Jones.
Another one is The Rock. Now, The Rock
Yeah,
started as a no name, and then he's done a zillion movies that he's made money on all of them.
he
So now
started,
he's
he
hooked
started
up.
in pro wrestling.
Right,
then,
but
and
but
then
now
became an
he's hooked
actor.
up with the comedian
We got
um,
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, who I think has resurged his
You
life
think he's
again.
funny?
I think he's
No.
hilarious.
Do you think humor includes being offensive? See, I think guys like offensive humor.
But he's not He's not over the top offensive.
Kevin Hart's more like self-deprecating.
My
Like he'll
kids
make
think
more
he's
jokes about
hilarious.
himself being short than anything else.
But because everybody calls him short.
I mean,
Exactly.
Robert Downey Jr. had a comeback with Iron Man, right?
Right, he was in jail.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's really funny because all those
Like a drug addiction.
experiences allowed him to play Iron Man perfectly because the two of them are so
Well, he
similar.
was a schmuck before he went into jail. He came out a person. Do you know who his father was?
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy I used to watch on the Midday Show in New York. He's the reason why I'm doing this. It was because of his father. He was a good entertainer, and he brought the game and everything else. But these guys, you know, they're today's business. I also read where the guy who slapped the comedian on stage, what's his name, Willis?
Will Smith and
Will
Chris
Smith
Rock.
is begging for them to be put back into the academy. Begging, because he can't land any roles.
Yeah.
He
I
can't
know,
get
yeah.
any
Will
work.
Smith's career is effectively dead. Like all the projects he was working
Well,
on are done.
They dying.
Because he
smacked the guy around.
Slapped another actor.
I would have just apologized and say, here, smack me back or something.
Well, you know, you always tell me you can't be bigger than the game.
Never.
All right, so I got to ask you. Sorry, I have to address the elephant in the room. The Dolphins,
There's no elephant.
the Mets.
We're going to talk about that. The Dolphins lost
Sports
yesterday. The Dolphins lost yesterday because in pro football, you have to be able to deliver the ball because all they're doing is stacking up the defense. The defense is stacking up. You can't run the ball, so you got to beat me with your arm. And when that happens, you're looking at 6 defenders, 5 defenders, a nickel. It is very difficult to operate under those circumstances. And when you're not that great, like the kid last night for the Dolphins, I thought he was good. He just ain't good enough.
It just shows you that Tua really runs that team.
It's not that Tua runs the team. The thing is that Tua can deliver the ball, and he's a better leader on the field. And all of a sudden, that team is tanking around. They're going to be all right. They're going to lose the next 2 games. I get it.
Until he comes back.
Until he comes back, and he's going to go against doctor's orders and put his life on the line, which is stupid. It's very
I was
stupid.
going to ask you, what do you think about that?
I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid football. I think that once you're crippled and you can't walk, you're going to say, I shouldn't have done this. And don't wait for that to happen. Do not ever think you're bigger than the game. The game is telling you to quit. You got hurt. Too many concussions. There you have it. There you have it. Should Tua play? You guys follow football?
I'm not a huge sports guy because
What do you
I
think,
don't
Alex?
quite understand it as well as say some other
Definitely
people
not.
do.
You follow football?
I don't watch any sports.
You guys follow football?
Yeah, I mean, like I was just saying to him, like when he got hit one time and his arms went like crazy too, and like you could just tell like he's not even there. Like
It's a shame
Yeah.
because you follow football?
Not really, but I mean, I watch whenever my dad's.
Well, he got hurt.
But yeah, no, he got messed up.
He got
I don't think he should play.
third
like,
concussion. But the
regardless.
problem is the concussions he's getting, they located the brain bleed. They know where it is, and they've told him to stop playing because it
man.
could affect the rest of his body. But you know what? He's a grown-ass man
He's young,
making
though, isn't he?
$283
He's like,
million
what,
dollars.
27, 28, 27, Tua? That's crazy young.
Brett Favre just announced that he has Parkinson's. He had 4 concussions. You know how
He said he
sad
probably
that
had
is?
over 1,000, right? He said now that he looked back, if you really describe what constitutes a concussion, he said how many times he saw stars, how many times he felt like this. He said probably over 1,000 times.
He says that he threw the ball hard because he didn't know if he was throwing it in the right direction. That's how much he loved the game. You know what? Aaron Rodgers, I'm just telling you, bro, hang it up. You know, there is nothing bigger than yourself and your family, and you don't have anything to prove to nobody. You know, you're gonna go down as one of the greatest. Don't get carted off the field. Now, to better news, the Mets won a dramatic
Oh
fan.
my gosh.
Did you see us in here yesterday?
Did I see you in here yesterday?
We were all on our phones watching the game.
You got to set it up because you had Josh in one room. He was doing a thing. G-Man's walking around clean and with his phone in the other hand, and you're sitting quietly
Because
telling
the Mets were
G-Man
losing.
The Mets are going to lose.
The Mets were losing 3-0, and then it was 4-3. They came back and they scored 4 runs, and then it's 6-3. They scored 6 runs in the 8th. So G-Man is screaming, and I told him this game ain't over because I watched their closer, who had
Right.
pitched the day before, was not as effective. Atlanta goes ahead 7-6 in the bottom of the 8th. So here you go, top of the 9th, first out is a pop-up out. So there's one out. They hit a double or a single. And the guy's standing at second, and up comes Lindor. And he has a 2-run shot. And the Mets are up 8-7. You should have seen G-Man's face.
You should have seen. You should have heard you.
Oh, I went crazy.
You were, and I'm thinking, is this what it's like watching a sporting
I
game?
was tame. I was tame. Normally, I would be
Your
running
whole
around
voice
this place.
changed. Everything changed.
Everything.
Your perspective, your persona, everything that was coming out of your
When
mouth
the,
was.
when the Mets were losing to the Boston Red Sox and that ball went through Bill Buckner's leg, they gave them life and they went on to win the World Series. I was in my house. I broke the furniture. I threw myself on the furniture. My sister was there. She was in the corner with a bottle of champagne. She says, "Are you okay?" Oh, I went crazy. I almost went crazy yesterday, but it's only, listen, they sneak in. They're going to get beat by Milwaukee.
Now, if they were a doubleheader, I know doubleheader means back-to-back games. That's insanity, by the way, that they did that. They won the first, lost the second.
They lost the second, and then both teams met on the field drenched in champagne. They met on the field to congratulate each other. So now the Mets go back to Milwaukee. And they start tonight. They start at 5 o'clock. Atlanta goes to San Diego. That's going to be a war. But on any given Sunday, when you make the playoffs, there is no rules. There is no fix. You win because you get a lucky hit, a lucky bounce, and you win.
I was watching yesterday. I was like, wow.
I would never,
So
ever.
none of you guys watch sports.
I've tried. I've just never been. I've never gotten into it.
All right, so what do you do for fun? Because most guys, they watch sports, they hang out with their buddies, they talk sports. You don't talk investments because you're not at that point in life where you're talking investments. What do you guys do?
You don't bet games or nothing?
I don't have enough. I don't make enough to
I've
bet.
I've yet to get into gambling.
So what do you do? We're not condoning gambling by any sense.
No, but you you don't have to bet money. You can bet breakfast.
But like, what if guys? Apparently, I owe you the Chinese food for lunch.
Yes, you do. I'm glad you brought it up.
I owe you Chinese food for lunch. So
You want to go double or nothing?
what else? What, 2 Chinese dinners? What else you want?
Well, maybe a steak dinner.
Chinese.
What? Oh, I will. Why not? I got nothing to lose. I'm not supposed to be there. Don't you understand? When you got nothing to lose and you're in the playoffs, you're not supposed to be there. The Mets weren't picked to be there at all.
But what do you guys do for hobbies or for fun when you go out with your buddies? What do you talk about?
Oh, I usually go to Ren fairs, conventions.
What are you talking about?
What do you talk about? They talk about like pirates.
I usually give them advice because they're all much younger than
Do
me.
you talk about pirate history or
A lot about a lot.
a lot about a lot?
You talk about girls?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you talk about, you pig, yeah.
So is that like the common thread? Like guys just talk about girls at this point?
Absolutely.
Blackbeard.
I mean, well, nah.
No?
Well, I mean, no, yeah.
Wait, talk
I mean,
about
girls-
guys?
No.
What do you talk
What turns
about?
you on?
Girls,
Like I know you
girls
talk
enter
about
the conversation, but like,
I talk about girls. Talk about you, about how you freaking drive me insane.
Well,
I do drive you
I
insane,
talk
though.
art, science, philosophy, mythology, literature, movies.
That's too much
Alex, what do you
information.
talk about?
Everything. I do talk about sports and gamble a little bit. I won like $50 the other day.
What'd you bet?
Like player picks. I do like the receptions, yards, catches.
Oh my God,
passing
you
yards.
are diehard. I don't play that. That's
Well-
too much
Well,
information.
now I just made 2 more bets with the 2 $15 bets. I can win $90 off of both. So.
You know,
Just keep it
G-Man
going.
decides yesterday that he bet the Lions to lose,
Yeah.
and I told him no, the Lions are going to win. So he bet he bet on both teams. So let me ask you a question: if the line is you have to pay more money for the underdog,
Yeah.
and less money for the, and you play both bets, do you win?
Yeah, can you bet against
You're
yourself
still
and
losing
still
money.
win?
I mean, you might even out, but still, you're gonna lose a little bit of money. There's no reason like, why are you gonna?
There's no reason to bet both.
No. The
You have to
thing-
go with your gut, right?
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Some people do like the money line where it's like they have to win this team or this team. But the way I do it is just like the player has to do good enough. Because you look at the stats.
You play
and-
fantasy.
No, I just bet online.
But if you bet both, who did the Mets play yesterday?
Atlanta.
So if you bet the Mets and you bet Atlanta,
No,
it's like
because-
when you walk into a store and you spend $100 and you get 70 back, and then your kids
No,
are like, "Oh,
because
mom
you-
and dad, I need the money. What do you have left?"
No,
in the
because
store?
you had to bet $140 that Atlanta, on Atlanta to break even, and the Mets you had to bet $20 to break even.
Yeah.
So if you bet both, you're going to be out $100.
Do people do that?
G-Man does.
I
No,
heard you
nobody
say to
does
him,
that.
Don't bet both sides. Now, apparently, that's legal in Florida now. They're up to all these.
It doesn't
gaming
matter.
apps, right?
You can do
all
whatever
that.
you want, but that's just stupid gambling.
What do you talk about when you go out?
I just talk about anything that like is a hobby of mine. I kind of have a hard time relating to other people in that sense because they don't have a hobby that I share. I don't really know. what to
Nobody
talk
understands
about.
you.
What are your hobbies?
I mean, anything from I like talking about aviation and talking about games.
How old are you?
16.
And what are you? I'm going to meet you and talk about planes and trains and automobiles?
He could be a
Ain't it?
pilot. You want to be a
No.
pilot?
He's 16. You should be talking about how your hormones are
You
raging.
should introduce him to Gio because he and
No,
Gio would
no,
be like
no.
amazing.
I'm going to introduce him to Samantha.
They'd be like the, the
Yeah,
next Bill Gates.
most of my friends, we like playing games, together when we both come back from work or school, and we talk about things in those. So
Do you play a lot of there's games on TV? What do they call that?
Video game.
Video
Oh, yeah,
games? You
yeah,
play
video
that?
games.
You're like my son. I'm going to tell you.
I told you, he's just like your son.
Nah.
1970s, bro.
You see, you
Say-
see your
I
son.
find that to be more engaging than movies and sports because you can actually control what you're doing.
I was told that I manipulated Gio when he was 14. He was 2 years younger than you. And he helped me grow Amp Square
Got
TV.
the phone.
He helped me do it. And I was told that I manipulated him, which I didn't. You see, this is a good example of what Gio was like. I don't manipulate you, right? You're good at what you do. You know you're good at what you do. And you want to make it not a hobby, but a career someday, right?
Yeah.
I'm not manipulating anybody.
Who said you're manipulating?
Because everybody said that I manipulated Gio. I didn't take away his youth. I asked Gio to play sports. He hated it. I asked Gio to play first base. He hated it. I asked Gio, what do you want to do in sports? He says, I want to be the umpire. The umpire. So I said, okay, here, be the umpire. You know how many kids he threw out of the game? I said, you can't be umpire no more.
Oh no.
He had this power thing of, and him and his brother, are you arguing balls and strikes? He says, you're out of here.
Were
It's
they on
probably
the same
him
team?
calling me now. No, not when you're the umpire, no. And what I tell you. No, Gio, I'm not answering.
But if you call me Gio, I'll answer for you.
No, you won't. No, you won't. But that's the deal, is that he liked to be an umpire. You want your kids to grow up and be in sports because you want them involved and yada, yada, yada. And I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 classic examples of that wasn't followed through. But you should have a sport. It doesn't have to be a sport.
Well, I mean, when I was younger, I played basketball and soccer.
Oh, there you go. You were the goalie.
No,
sports are
I tried. I wasn't very good at it.
You were the forward.
Now you got a message from him.
It's okay.
It's all.
What about Nate? You into sports?
What do you do for a hobby? Oh, he draws.
Well, first,
He's scary.
first question is sports. I do.
Hold the mic up. I can't hear you.
He doesn't have one.
Got a mic.
Just hold it up. What'd you say?
No, I was saying, back when I was in elementary school, I played for my city I played for my city, so I played basketball for that.
Yeah,
for
you're tall enough to play
that 1
basketball.
year, but I don't remember what position I played. I think it was like a shooting guard or small forward. I think it was because I was not the tallest kid there. I was not the shortest.
Could you
nor the
score?
tallest.
You had touch?
Huh?
You had good touch?
Eh. For what I did, I said I did all right. That first year we won a championship, and after that, I never played again.
You won a championship, then you had to be good.
Because our team name was the Spurs. Obviously, we were the Spurs. Our team was good, and we.
Were you a
played-
starter?
I wasn't that good to be a starter, but I played some minutes in the game, so I did all right.
Well, you're tall enough. You must have been tall.
For my team back then, I was about medium height, like middle ground a little bit, but I did all right there. That whole year I played it, we won. Won a championship. I never played again.
Wow.
You gotta give kids credit. They find a way to survive, whatever they're doing. Like, I didn't play sports, but I found a way to survive.
Of course, because you were the cheerleader dating all the football
Exactly.
players.
So there were survival tactics. We all find ways to do what we got to do, in spite of whatever.
You still got
we
involved in
gotta
the
do.
game.
Speaking
Exactly.
of which,
You got-
tomorrow's my dad's 68th birthday.
Wow! Happy birthday, Dad.
Yeah, well, it's really funny is he actually was kind of a sports guy anyway, so He's about 6'3", former defensive lineman for Yale, graduated with a
Wow.
finance degree. But, he's like the biggest guy in the room, and, he played basketball.
How tall is your dad?
He's
6'3"?
6'3", yeah.
How big?
He's a former defensive lineman for
He's
Yale.
big. He's a big guy.
So what's really funny is growing up, he played baseball, basketball, and football. So,
Athlete.
so
Talking about
American
basketball
trifecta.
players that died. Matumbo died at 58 years of age.
So I got to ask you, all these greats
The tumble died.
that you've looked up to in sports, in baseball, are passing away. What does
Pete-
that feel like?
Pete
Like Pete
Rose
Rose
died.
passed away yesterday.
That one killed me last night. I
Age.
cried like a baby.
I figured that had to upset
And I'm
you.
going to tell you, I hated Pete Rose because he fought against Bud Harrison in the 72 playoff game. And Pete Rose was numero uno, enemy number one in New York City. But my goodness gracious, what a hitter.
You guys know who Pete Rose is?
What a
I do.
hitting
None
machine.
Of them know.
Well, Pete Rose is the all-time hit machine. He passed Ty Cobb, which was number one. He has 4,672 hits or something like that. But what he did will never be broken. That record will never be broken. He played for 20 years or 22 years. Then he went on to manage. He bet on gambling, and they banned him and his records for the rest of his life.
Did he bet against himself or for himself,
He
or
bet.
just overall?
Nobody knows. They're saying that he bet against himself and everybody else. He gambled. And he didn't kill anybody. He gambled. They're saying that he may have thrown games. Not true. If you knew Charlie Hustle, that was his nickname, he never threw a game. But to see him die and not make the Hall of Fame is just a crying shame. Crying shame. And I'm not a Pete Rose fan. Don't get me wrong. I hated him, but I also respected him. And for Major League Baseball not to see that man get inducted into the Hall of Fame before he died is a shame.
You think now they'll make it posthumously?
If I was the head of baseball today, I would do it. But now they can't because they're going to know that they were wrong for not doing it. I mean, you got guys that cheated in the game. The home run leader, what's his name? From San Francisco Giant. He will never be in the Hall of Fame because they say he cheated. He took steroids. Alex Rodriguez, steroids. These guys are never going into the Hall.
Barry Bonds too, right? Wouldn't he
Barry
beat
Bonds
Pete
is the
Rose's
home.
game
He's the home run
record?
leader. Not going in. Not going in because they cheated. Pete Rose bet. He didn't cheat. He bet. He didn't hurt the game directly. If you want to say he hurt it indirectly, do you know the referees in the NBA were just found to throw games? Those guys should be banned from the
Yeah,
game.
but is that anything that surprises you?
It's
Because
hurtful.
sometimes you're watching games, you know those calls are just wrong.
Yeah,
right?
they got rid of Hernandez finally. The umpire was the worst. He would the pitch would hit the wall. He would call it a strike. It was horrible. It was the worst umpire in the history of baseball. But even he is not banned from the game. You know, the legends die. You know, Willie McCovey was another legend. Played for the Giants. I got to meet and work with Willie McCovey. It was unbelievable, the things he taught me in the game that I took on to coach with, the aspect of the game. He's the one that told me baseball is measured in inches, and every reason of a baseball stadium is there for a reason. And Pete Rose, to me, I never got to meet him, I wish I had, is an icon. He's part of what baseball is about. And you don't ban a baseball player because he gambled. Dwight Gooden, I looked up to Dwight, and he lives here in Florida. I love the kid. But when I found out he was using coke and he had a problem, at the time, I didn't understand that. I was furious. I burned my Dwight Gooden shirt. Now, I wish I could find it again to put it on.
Right, who
'cause
do you guys look
people
up
have
to?
problems.
Anyone idolize, look up to?
well, my
Not really.
my parents.
Any professional player.
Or actors, actresses,
Well, one of the actors I look up to is like
singers.
Peter Cullen.
I got some.
Who, Nate?
Well, I got two.
lot of them just end up
For
there.
sports, obviously, I look up to Dwayne Wade, who was the star of the Miami Heat. He won 3 championships in Miami. He was a ball out back in the day, and plus he wore my number 3, so I respect the man for that, and also what he did in the game. For actors, that's gotta go to Keanu Reeves. That guy is so
Really?
humble. He's humble, down to earth. Like, he's a big star. He has no ego, and he's like I think I remember last time I read a story where he takes a subway too, doesn't
He
he?
takes the subway in New York City to work.
Bro, you can't tell me that man is above and beyond. Like, come on now.
He also was homeless at one time in his life.
Also, didn't he also play in the movie Bill and Ted back in the
Yeah,
day?
that was his first movie.
That was his first role.
Bro, Bill and Ted was awesome, man.
I have them, actually. I have the movies.
Yeah.
How about you,
That's
Darian? Someone you look up to, like you would feel the way Freddie is feeling. It's like, wow, something unfortunate happens.
I mean, I don't really have any specific actors because all the ones I do like just end up being scumbags. So it's kind of.
What
Okay,
about
so-
just
so
a
why is
person?
that?
What about a
Um,
teacher? You have a
Well,
teacher?
Yeah, no,
or-
probably an author I really look up, or I did look up to, was a man named Kentaro Miura.
Oh, Berserk.
Yeah, he wrote my favorite. He wrote and illustrated my favorite comic series, Berserk, and he died back in 2001. And and it was like,
Peace, man.
you know, it was a really inspirational series for me,
Oh,
and I liked it.
Okay.
It's a shame that he's dead. He never got to finish his work.
Never get to finish it. Yeah.
piggyback off this thing. Actually, there's 2 more that I forgot to mention. Actually, one is Chadwick Boseman, obviously, because of him. There's him, and also there's another one.
Yeah, Chadwick. Yeah.
You may know him, you may not know him. I really don't know if you guys know that stuff. It's the creator of Dragon Ball. It's Akira Toriyama.
Toriyama, yeah.
Creator of Dragon Ball. Yeah.
How about you, Alex? Grab the mic from Nate.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. I was just thinking about it because I was on like mentioning it to him too. It's like I don't know. It's like they say, don't meet your idols because like I mean, there's some people that I kind of like looked up to before,
And you met
but
them?
like no, not really. I met a few NFL players here and there and all this whatever. I had a guy from the Dolphins coming to rent jet skis the other day too. $40 million net worth and didn't tip anything.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say any name, but yeah.
All right,
he
so
had
let me ask you guys a question.
A lot of money.
Whatever the jet skis cost. So say you got
Yeah.
a tattoo. Like yesterday we had the tattoo guy in. Right? You go to a tattoo place, you spend $1,000 on a tattoo.
Yeah.
Do you tip on the $1,000 or do you just pay the $1,000? And then if you tip, how much of a tip do you give?
Are you because you're like getting like an exclusive service for tattooing? Is that why? I mean,
So someone spends 2 hours, 3 hours, or even doing your hair like G-Man. Say it costs them $1,000. Do you tip on that or do you just
You're
pay?
supposed to tip on a tattoo. Same thing with the haircut, and like it's just
You
like
do or
the
you
thing
don't?
you're supposed to do. You're supposed to.
All right, so how much?
How much?
It's supposed to be like 20%.
So on
25.
on $1,000, you're gonna give that guy $200?
I mean, depending on the work, and I mean it's on your body. For me, like
No, it's a yes or no. You're either gonna
Yeah.
tip him or you're not.
I'm gonna tip them, yeah, because they're like an artist to you though, and it's like a one-on-one thing. I wouldn't
Okay.
tip like with those little machines where you're not having like a personal connection with someone, you know, like that. I don't know.
I tip
No,
based
that's
on
a
good
good way to
service,
look at it.
and
No, it's like you have they're an artist putting their art on your body.
No, we're
That's
not.
a good point.
We're not. But we're not questioning whether you should tip. We know you're gonna tip.
Yeah.
We had a conversation with someone yesterday on what
It's
they
how
would
much
tip for a
you
tattoo.
would
How
tip.
much they would tip? I mean,
So they were telling us for a $1,000 tattoo, they would tip $500.
wow.
That's
like
crazy.
50%.
That's so we thought, really? So we thought
That's
we'd ask you guys. What
I
do
mean,
you
if
think?
you're already paying more than you think the tattoo's worth, you might as well just throw in a tip if you got the money.
But you're always gonna think it's less than what it's worth because you're not gonna
you
pay
wouldn't
face
for it.
value.
You wouldn't pay for it if you didn't think. It was
You'd
worth
be
it.
surprised.
And you guys have
Until
tattoos?
you get married, you're gonna say, I guess it wasn't
yet.
worth it.
I have the
Not
one
yet.
year,
You do?
And then this was like, I have one on my chest, but yeah, I tipped like $50 and it was like $200 or something.
All right, so that was
So,
fair.
yeah, I mean, throw something out there, but nothing crazy.
You want to show appreciation. The question is, how much appreciation? So you have a good meal, and the steak costs you $60, and you have a good meal, it's a $300 deal. So you're gonna pay 60. You're gonna pay 20% of $300 is $60 in tips. So now your meal is $360. That's typical. That's really what you're gonna pay. But on a service, when you come in, and somebody does something, they cut your hair and they charge you $150. to cut your hair. You're going to tip this guy 20% on 150. You're going to pay another $30? Really?
Yep.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you're paying for all that service though already. Like, you know how much you're gonna like. I don't know. It's a hefty service you're paying for already, so you gotta have the money, like, to pay to play. You know, like.
Yeah, but I could
You
use
don't have to
a.
tip though, but I mean, it's just.
I mean, we shouldn't really
Well,
have to
like how
tip in
you
the
taught.
first place, but that's just how it is.
I went to Miami
We
Ink.
should just be covered completely. But
I went to Miami Ink to give somebody a birthday gift. The lady wanted $600, and the tat was about this big.
Really?
It was a mini tat, you know. And I said to
tattoo
her,
this-
$600, this big. She says, yeah, but Miami Ink gets 400 of it, because back in the day that was the show, and the line went around the corner. I just got in because I knew somebody who took me there. I didn't buy it. I said, okay, thank you very much, and left. I wasn't going to pay $600 for a tat this big.
Well, it's the service industry, I think it is, right? So if you go to a coffee shop and they give you coffee, are you tipping for because you walked up to the counter and you got a cup of coffee?
Not really.
What do you call when the food is laid out?
Buffet?
A buffet.
buffet.
You guys tip at a buffet?
Well, it depends if it's one of those places that you pay per plate.
No, you get a plate, you serve yourself. If you're going to eat a second plate, you leave the plate on the table,
Do you
somebody
have a-
takes
do
it.
you have a server?
Bottomless, though.
Yeah, but like-
No,
the
you
one
tipping.
that I know of
You
does.
got to
Already
tip the
paying
one
for
that
the
picks up the
employee.
plates for you.
Oh, I
Tipping's-
don't know about
tipping at a buffet is pointless.
So do you leave a couple of the,
He
you
says
leave
you
two?
just
tipping at
eat
a
as much
buffet
as
is
you can, and
pointless.
that's it.
All right, do you tip when you go to a hotel room and you leave and you check out? You leave
Absolutely.
money for the cleaning people.
Absolutely, in
You
an
do?
envelope, yes.
How much you leave?
It depends, because the last time I went on a trip, she was from Puerto Rico, and she told me her life story. We ended up tipping her $60 for 2 days. But I'm gonna tell you, I had towels, I had extra pillows, I had everything I needed, anything. And she would knock on the door in the morning. She says, "Do you need anything?" And she put in fresh flowers in my room. I
Nice.
said, "Whoa, I'm at the Hilton, baby."
Any of you guys ever tip when you go to a hotel? Like we do.
Not really, because usually it's all paid up front.
Well, you could still tip for service.
I could.
Now, I go to buffet, and Linda insists on leaving $2 or $3, always. I mean, you don't have to because you're the one doing all the work. He said they pick up the plate. Okay.
No, I guess people are in the service industry. They need the money too. They're working to make money, so every
Right.
little bit helps.
Everything else.
I thought, yeah, tipping. I don't know if you guys see something. Have you guys ever like seen like those videos where so some people like they tip people like $200-$300 or something like that, and like it's all nicer? How about those times when people like tip some kind of money and then the waiter or something like that is all pissed off, whatever, saying how like
They didn't get enough?
yeah, like
Do you know I went to a Japanese restaurant with a guy. He was from South America, and he didn't understand how the tip system worked. So the bill was like $800, and he wanted to pay. He wanted to, because I gave him a lot of work, and I hired him. So we go out the restaurant, and I said, "Let me pay the tip." He said, "No, it's all part of the meal." I said, "No, it's not." The waiter came out and said, "I'm sorry, sir. Was the service bad? Blah, 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 blah." And I tried to explain to him. I said, "Listen, let me take care." So I went in and I paid it, and I said, "He's not from this country. He doesn't understand." But yes, I've been there. I've done that. The service is that bad. I'll leave $1. Trust you me, I will leave $1. I have left $1. And the manager to a famous restaurant not too far from me came over and said, "What was wrong?" And I told him. And he says, "You know what? The meal's on the house." Because I was right. The service was horrendous. It happens. But welcome to the real world.
Of the service industry, it's a tough business.
But shouldn't you have the right, if you do bad, if you get treated poorly, don't you have a right to say something?
Oh yeah, that's why, for example, I understand how hard it is as a waiter or service person because I used to work in food service. I used to work as a dishwasher in a couple restaurants, and I know I've also worked as a busser and a bunch of those. And that's a really rough job because everyone just thinks you're part of the help, but you know that you're living off your tips, right? So I always, whenever I go out to eat, I always do say $5 as a tip, just because I understand it from the other point of view.
But you're old enough now to look back on experiences and see things that you've learned from.
Yeah.
Joseph's still young. Like, do you look back on things in life and you go, you know what? It made me a better man because I learned that even though it might have been a rough point in your life, but it's made you a better person for who you are now?
Yes, because a lot of people come to seek my my wisdom through my stupidity.
Your wisdoms.
We're going to get him a wizard's hat.
We're gonna get him. Listen, when I was your age, I had three or four bars, and what I did was I met with everybody at the bar, the waitresses and what have you, bartenders, and I gave each one a $50 bill, brand new, each one, and I said to them, if you're gonna steal from me, I'm giving you the opportunity. Take this 50, and this makes us even. I said, if I catch you stealing, I'm going to prosecute you. Do we understand each other? Here's the $50. This is before they started working for me day one. I did this at every bar. Never, ever caught anybody stealing from me that day on. Ever. Ever. Because we were all in together. Now, my bars did really, really well. They used to fight for shifts on my bar till 2 in the morning because people knew me in the bowling game, and my bars happened to be in bowling alleys. And I used to be good for the business, and I used to fill up houses, and they all
Look how
drank.
you make drinks now.
I was a bartender for 11 years.
Were you?
Yeah, I told you that.
It's another job.
Yeah.
Freddie's had like 2,500.
I used to own bars. You can't own a bar if you're not a bartender.
What was your
mentality.
go-to drink to make?
Wish. Back in the day, I remember Long Island iced tea because when that came out, I really liked it. But a Long Island iced tea is a nightmare for a barkeeper because that's 5 rums, 5 different liquors.
Is that what it is? Is it all rum?
Not rums, but 5 different liquors. And sometimes you have to use what they call second tier because you can't afford to keep doing first tiers, otherwise you'll be out of business.
I don't think people even know.
Johnny Walker, the scotch and water was numero uno.
Unless you're just drinking like a fine, something neat, just scotch or bourbon or whiskey, vodka.
Bourbon, you hope they never ordered.
Why? Because it's expensive.
It's expensive to buy, and you know, in bowling alley, you can get $7 for a
bowling
drink.
alley.
Yeah.
Now we got it. Anyone have mezcal? I feel like I want to try that because I feel
What
like
is
that's
that?
the new.
Is that a?
It's made from agave.
I can't drink that.
You can't drink it; it's all sugar. I know.
Well.
It's like tequila, but it's not.
You
It's a
ever
different
gone
plant.
bowling?
Yeah, because I was so, if I actually talked about my childhood was great, except my lack of coordination, all the things that my parents had to do to get me to this point in life. I was never athletic, so bowling worked.
So did you go bowling?
Yes, I was in a bowling league because I
Were you
could
any
do
good?
that. Who even knows? My parents told me I was good at everything, but I was probably not really good at it.
You ever
I did okay on it though.
You guys ever go bowling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever go with somebody who just completely hates it because they're horrible at it?
No.
No?
I'm
You ever-
usually that one. I usually go with people that are really good at it.
And you don't drink?
No.
Okay, so what does a bartender do when you got a half a house of people that aren't bowling or aren't good at
Serve
bowling?
drinks, right?
You can't, and they don't drink. What do you
Oh,
do with
jeez.
them? We used to do something called, what was it called? Bingo bowling, or bowling bingo. So we used to give out these numbers, and if your number was called, you won a prize.
I can't believe you owned the bowling alley too.
Yeah. And so what happened was everybody would stop bowling, and this his encyclopedia gets up there. If he rolls a strike, he wins $20. If he throws a gutter ball, he gets a petunia, or some kind of something or another. And we used to do this all night. Do you know that people were waiting in line for hours to get into the house? You guys ever do midnight bowling where they turn the lights off and the pins are all colors?
Yeah, those are fun. You do like
Yeah, I
late
did
night
that once.
laser
I did that
bowling.
once, I believe.
I used to have a ball with that. I remember the first time I did it, my partners thought I was nuts. He says, you're buying all these new pins. So I had to glow in the dark paint them myself because they wouldn't give me the money to buy the pins. And my goodness gracious, it was crazy. That's how I got to buy the other houses, because we did so well in the first one.
So what would make you change from career to career? At what point did you go, I just don't like this anymore, let's do something else?
Well, bowling became a challenge because there were other things that I wanted to do with my life. So after I did that, the money was ridiculous. It came through. I spent it. Freddie came along, and then Gio came along, and I started coaching. And I couldn't be at the alleys anymore till 2 in the morning. Couldn't. And that's a day up and day down job. And I even had Michelle work with me. Don't get married and work with your wife, man. I'm gonna tell you. Don't do
Yeah.
it. Don't do it. And it
Can't
was
work
tough.
with your spouse. I don't know how people do that.
And then Harvey Peckman had a heart attack, my partner.
He owned the bowling alleys with you?
Yeah. And what happened was Harvey was done. The next guy just
Didn't work for you.
just blew up the system.
When you think about people who change careers, like why do they change? If money's good, then you think, why would you change if money's good?
Because
just
it's not
wanted
always
more out
about
of
money.
life, right?
Yeah, it's not always about money. There was a time, you guys know about Costco.
Yeah.
So in the Bronx, before there was a Costco, there was a Freddy. And I met this guy, and we went on a truck, a cheese truck. You know how it's cold, the refrigerated cheese? And we went to all these stores, and we sold cheese for half price. So we took a bath on the first truckload. And when I mean a bath, I mean maybe $15,000. After that, we opened up this Costco. So you came in and you bought stuff in bulk. And you came out and you paid. It doesn't look like Costco today. It looks like an old-fashioned barn. And we made a fortune.
You did that too?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta write a book.
I did so well that the cheese companies came to see me. And they wanted me to stop. And they offered me big money to stop. And my partner wouldn't take the money. And I gave him the keys. I said, well, if he says no, you're going to go to war, I'm out. And I left. That was the end of that.
You knew where that was going. And not a good thing.
But big boxes like this doesn't scare me. Because it doesn't matter what the box looks like. It matters what you show. So you could dress up a box. If I had more money, I would show you a theater in here that would blow your mind. And you would go, wow. I would put the theater in this direction, put the chairs in this direction. It would blow your mind with VIP rooms and champagne rooms and everything else. But you know, I'm a typical New Yorker. I see lemons, I make orange juice. It's just different for me. And I love what I do. If I don't like what I do, then I switch to something else that I like more. No big deal.
That's it. You never know where you're going to be when luck happens.
Never know. And the challenge is what makes it go. And I'm hoping that that rubs off on you guys and you pick up not only hobbies, but you pick up careers and you get career oriented and go for the gold. You know, because ain't nobody going to give it to you.
Throw for the gold.
You got to go get it.
Back to that.
Opportunities that arise and other people don't take them, that's where you have to step up. Because not everybody sees the game the same way.
Like
Not
the
everybody.
commercial you're going to do on Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll see who we can send with you.
That thing on the 23rd and the 24th, what is it, Footsie? Fitzy, you should register and come on down on the 23rd and the 24th and be part of our booth and go out and mingle and commingle, because there are companies, not only are we trying to sell them things, they're going to be trying to sell us things, and there's opportunities wherever. I got 3 calls yesterday on Fitzy.
Did you?
And people want to, how did they register?
You send them a link?
I said to go on the website
Okay.
and to register that way, and we'll see you there. But they want to do business. They all want to do something, so.
Good. All right. More to come. Ready to wrap this up for midday?
Ready to wrap
See
it
who we
up.
got coming in? We'll see.
We have no idea. It's the mystery crew.
We don't know. We'll see who comes in midday, but more to come. Have a great day, everyone. If you're in the area of Delray Beach, join us tonight, 5 to 8, at Throw Social in Delray Beach to benefit Julia Starr Childhood Cancer Awareness Foundation. It's an amazing cause. They are paired with some great for-profit companies that are sponsoring them. It's all about giving back and giving hope. So we're going to be there today. And then October 23rd and 24th, we're going to be at FITSE. Florida International Trade and Commerce Expo. It's FITCEexpo.com. So check that out. Registration is free. And then I got an email yesterday. There's an Abilities Expo for people who have disabilities that are looking for adaptive wear, adaptive technologies on the weekend before that. And that, again, is free at the Broward Convention Center. So a lot of great things happening in our community.
It's a very active final quarter.
Right?
Take
All right.
advantage of it.
Have a great morning, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Don't be late.